Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Viktor Frankl. Sometimes, the greatest suffering happens inside your own head. No visible wounds, no clear enemy. Just a storm of thoughts that never stops. Regret, fear, overthinking, self-doubt. You go through the motions of life, but mentally, you're trapped. You replay the past, dread the future, and even in moments of silence, your mind refuses to rest. It's not always depression. Sometimes it's just a war with your own thoughts, and the worst part, you're the battlefield and the attacker. You want peace, but your mind keeps spinning. Viktor Frankl saw this internal suffering as a symptom of disconnection, from meaning, from responsibility, from life's why. Marcus Aurelius, centuries earlier, called the mind a fortress and believed that if you could master it, nothing could destroy you. Two visions, two approaches to mental suffering. One says, give your thoughts a mission. The other says, discipline your thoughts through reason. But both agree on this. If you stay trapped in your own mind, you'll miss the life unfolding in front of you. You can go to work, smile at friends, even post a picture with a nice caption, and still be trapped inside a mind that won't let you rest. It's not that life outside is unbearable, it's that inside, everything feels loud. Thoughts race, doubts multiply, regrets echo. You overanalyze every word you said, every choice you made, and you begin to fear your own silence, because in silence the noise gets louder. This is the invisible cage, the one built not of bars but of unrelenting thought. Most people don't notice when they walk into it. It starts with stress, then worry, then patterns. Suddenly, you're reliving a mistake from 3 years ago, or imagining a disaster that hasn't happened. You're not present. You're not really anywhere, you're stuck in your head. And the scariest part, no one can see it. You look fine, you perform. But inside, your mind is running loops you can't escape. And the more you try to think your way out, the tighter it holds you. Frankl saw this in his patients and in himself. He understood that the mind could become cruel when left without purpose. He didn't try to silence thoughts. He redirected them. He taught that suffering without meaning turns inward, attacking the soul. But when pain is given purpose, even imagined, it stops being chaos. It becomes direction. Frankl's answer to obsessive thought was not suppression, but responsibility. Choose your attitude. Choose your focus. Choose what your suffering means. Marcus Aurelius approached it differently. He believed the mind is the only true domain you control. You have power over your mind, not outside events, he wrote. Realize this, and you will find strength. For Marcus, the answer to mental chaos was mental training, discipline, clarity, simplicity. When thoughts spiral, the Stoic doesn't ask why. He returns to what matters now. He doesn't fight every fear. He watches it, examines it, and lets it pass. The mind becomes strong by staying still, but this stillness isn't passive. For Marcus, it's an active confrontation with every irrational belief. You fear the future. Ask yourself, is it here? You regret the past? Remind yourself you're still breathing. This moment is the only reality. Everything else is shadow. The Stoic mind clears the fog by refusing to chase it. It doesn't argue with every thought. It reclaims attention. And in that discipline there is peace. So we begin here. 2 minds, 2 men, and 1 truth. Your thoughts are not your enemy, but they are not your master either. Whether you find freedom through purpose, like Frankl, or detachment, like Marcus, the first step is the same. You must stop believing everything your mind tells you. Some thoughts don't come once, they come again and again, until they wear grooves into your mind like water on stone. A conversation you had, a mistake you made, a decision you regret, and you replay it hoping this time it will feel different, but it never does. Rumination is seductive. It feels like solving, but it's really sinking. The more you think, the deeper you go. You believe you're working through it, but you're only reinforcing the cage. It's mental quicksand dressed as reflection. Frankl warned against this inner spiral. He believed that thoughts, when left without a direction, collapse into themselves. Guilt and anxiety are natural, but without meaning, they rot. They don't lead to growth, they lead to paralysis. That's why he insisted that meaning had to be chosen, not discovered. A person tormented by regret must ask, what now? What will I do with this pain? His method wasn't denial, it was redirection. When the mind loops, Frankl's solution is to assign the loop a mission. Suffering, he said, becomes bearable when it serves something greater than the self. Marcus. Aurelius approached guilt and anxiety with a surgeon's calm. He didn't fight the emotion. He stripped it of illusion. Today I escaped anxiety, he wrote, or rather, I discarded it, for it was within me, in my own perceptions. To Marcus, guilt is only useful if it teaches. Otherwise, it's pride in disguise. You suffer because you expected to be flawless. You worry because you assumed control. The Stoic dismantles the story, not by overthinking, but by recentering the mind on truth. What's real? What's now? What is your duty in this moment? The difference is clear. Frankl treats thought as a tool to uncover meaning. Marcus treats thought as a tool to cut away falsehood. One dives deep into the feeling, searching for its purpose. The other dissolves the feeling, examining its logic. And both agree. The mind left unchecked is a master that will drive you mad. But the mind, disciplined by purpose or reason, becomes a servant. Steady, clear, even kind. Still, it's hard to let go of the spiral. It feels active, like you're doing something. But Frankl and Marcus both say the same thing. Your mind is not the place to stay. It's the place to observe, to choose, and then to act. Freedom begins the moment you realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one who watches them and chooses what comes next. So if you're stuck in your head, replaying pain, fearing what's to come, ask yourself, is this thought serving something real? Or is it just another brick in the cage you've built? That answer will tell you what kind of freedom you're truly ready for. There's a point where reflection turns into avoidance. You think you're being deep, self-aware, even healing, but really you're hiding in your own mind. Instead of living, you analyze. Instead of choosing, you hesitate. Every decision becomes a maze of possible outcomes. Every silence a space to fill with noise. This is the trap of introspection without purpose. It feels noble, but it robs you of life. It gives you the illusion of control while stealing your ability to move forward. Frankl never dismissed introspection, but he believed it must lead somewhere. His form of reflection wasn't self-centered. It was purpose-centered. He warned that excessive inward focus without action becomes narcissism dressed as wisdom. That's why logotherapy was built on movement, outward, toward meaning, toward responsibility. He didn't ask, what do you feel? He asked, what is life asking of you? That shift pulls the sufferer out of themselves and back into the world. Frankl's cure for overthinking wasn't to think better, it was to serve something beyond yourself. Marcus Aurelius, though deeply reflective, placed strict limits on mental wandering. His journal wasn't indulgent, it was corrective. Every page is a self-check. Am I doing my duty? Am I wasting thought on what I cannot change? Am I clinging to pride, fear, or control? He didn't reflect to feel. He reflected to return, to truth, to the present. For Marcus, the mind should be a compass, not a cage. Its job is to reorient you to the now, not to build a labyrinth you'll never escape. And yet, many today are stuck in that labyrinth. Therapy culture, online advice, endless self-diagnosis. It can become a new form of paralysis. You begin to believe that until you heal completely, you cannot live fully. But Frankl and Marcus would both disagree. You don't need to. Be healed to begin. You need to begin to heal. Life is not waiting for your clarity, it's waiting for your courage. The door is not insight, it's responsibility. Clarity follows commitment, not the other way around. This doesn't mean deny your emotions or ignore your thoughts. It means you must give them shape, direction, and limit. Thought becomes a trap when it is never turned into action. Frankl's model says, use your mind to find meaning, then live it. Marcus says, use your mind to remove illusion, then act. In both cases, thought is a bridge, not a destination. You cross it to reach the life waiting on the other side. So ask yourself honestly, Am I thinking to grow or am I thinking to avoid? Has reflection become a mask for fear? Because if the mind is your only refuge, it will soon become your prison. And the key, as both Frankl and Marcus knew, is to walk back into the world imperfect and uncertain but awake. When the mind becomes a storm, the present moment is the first casualty. You stop seeing what's in front of you. You miss the taste of your food, the warmth of sunlight, the tone in someone's voice. You're so lost in what might happen, or what already did, that you forget life is always happening now. The tragedy isn't just that you're suffering, it's that you're missing everything. Joy, connection, clarity, all buried under layers of mental noise you've mistaken for awareness. Frankl believed the way out wasn't to escape the mind, but to give it a task. When people feel trapped inside themselves, he urged them to find responsibility outside of themselves. Care for someone, build something, endure something with dignity. When the mind won't quiet, let the body act. Take action rooted in meaning, no matter how small. Wash a dish, write a page, make the call. Purpose pulls us out of paralysis. Not through motivation, but motion. He taught that even the smallest acts of intention can crack the walls of inner isolation. Marcus Aurelius leaned heavily on embodiment. When his thoughts raced, he didn't fight them, he grounded them. What is in my control? What is my role? What does this moment require? That's stoicism at its heart. Brutal focus on the present and rejection of anything beyond it. He didn't chase calm, he practiced it. Through breath, through routine, through honest attention to what was real and nothing more. Confine yourself to the present, he wrote, not as advice, as a command. We often underestimate the power of returning to the physical world when the mind is in chaos. Go for a walk, feel your feet on the ground, name 5 things around you, speak aloud instead of thinking silently. The world outside your mind is more forgiving than the world within, and both Frankl and Marcus knew the mind, left alone too, long forgets how to live. Reconnection begins in the senses, in movement, in presence. And from there, the mind slowly softens. It's not about pretending everything is fine, it's about interrupting the spiral. A man who can't stop overthinking won't be rescued by another thought, but by a different rhythm, one that pulls him back to now. Frankl would say, find a task that calls to your soul. Marcus would say, return to your post and do it well. The outcome isn't always instant relief, it's orientation. You start to feel where you are again, and who you are again. So if your thoughts feel like a trap, don't argue with them. Redirect them, through action, through service, through attention to what's real and what's yours. Frankl leads you through meaning. Marcus leads you through presence, but both are saying the same thing. You can't think your way out of the prison. You have to walk. There's a kind of suffering that no one sees, because it's internal, quiet, and often well disguised. You can go years with a smile, a job, a family, and still feel imprisoned by your own mind. It's not a failure of strength, it's a crisis of orientation. You've lost the ability to tell your thoughts where to go. And when you lose that, you lose your ability to move forward. But Viktor Frankl and Marcus Aurelius both say that freedom is not gone, it's just unused. You still have the key. Frankl believed that key was meaning, that suffering becomes unbearable only when it feels pointless. He watched people die faster when they felt forgotten, useless, or irrelevant. But he also saw others survive by clinging to a sense of purpose, however small, however imagined. His legacy is simple but hard. Don't wait for meaning to come to you. Go create it. Go assign it. Choose to believe that your pain is part of something worth enduring for. When the mind spirals, Frankl says, aim it towards service. That's where life starts again. Marcus Aurelius, meanwhile, believed the key was mastery, that you can't stop every storm, but you can train the sailor. His philosophy wasn't about comfort, it was about resilience. You don't control your thoughts by force. You train them through repetition, through truth, through radical focus on what is in your hands. The impediment to action advances action, he wrote. What stands in the way becomes the way. The mind isn't evil, it's wild, and it becomes still not through suppression, but through structure. Their approaches feel different, one emotional, the other logical, but they converge at the same place, your ability to choose. Frankl says, choose what this pain will mean. Marcus says, choose how you'll respond, no matter how you feel. In both cases, freedom is not in changing your circumstances. It's in reclaiming your role, your position, your presence. You stop being a prisoner when you start being responsible again, even if your thoughts still scream. And that's the most important truth. You can still be afraid and move, still be uncertain and act, still be hurting and live. Frankl and Marcus don't promise the end of pain. They offer a way through it, one through a cause bigger than yourself, the other through clarity and virtue. Both are difficult, both are possible, and both begin now. So if you feel trapped in your own mind, don't wait for silence to save you. You're not broken, you're overwhelmed, and the way out is not found in another answer, but in a deeper decision to live with meaning or with mastery. Either path will lead you home. Your mind can be a prison or a portal. You can live your whole life inside it, replaying, fearing, spiraling, or you can reclaim your freedom. Viktor Frankl believed that mental suffering is a signal. Life is asking you for meaning. Marcus Aurelius believed it's a challenge. Your thoughts must serve your action, not sabotage it. Both offer you a path forward, one through purpose, one through discipline. But both require you to decide you are not helpless. So the next time you feel trapped in your own thoughts, don't ask, how do I escape? Ask, what will I do with this moment? If this message helped quiet your mind or awaken your courage, subscribe to Purpose Through Pain. Here we turn struggle into strength through timeless wisdom. Comment below. Do you respond more to Frankl's call for meaning or Marcus's call for mastery? Share this with someone who's fighting an invisible battle. It might free them too.